our live question and answer time. This is November 2nd, 2015. It means we're in the last 1/6 of the year. So, a lot going on. If you guys have questions, just post them in the YouTube comments. As I say in all of these, I won't answer all the questions. I won't even try, but I will answer some of them. Asking a question repeatedly does not actually get me to answer it. But I hope everyone had a great week. Actually, the big news from last week, obviously, was Halloween going on. Everyone, if you look at Twitter and Facebook, it was different costumes that everyone was wearing. And now it's all about Thanksgiving and Christmas, right? For us, it's about Board Game Geek Con, Thanksgiving and Christmas. Looking forward to those. We'll be posting our Christmas shopping guides. We'll start with one of those tomorrow, and you'll see 5 of those over the next 5 days. So, anyhow, if you have questions, you can type them onto the side here in the comments, and I will answer those as I see them show up. Basically, I'm just working on reviews right now. There's a lot of reviews that I'm getting done this week. Be reviewing Automania, Between Two Cities, Antarctica, Dr. Eureka, Push a Monster, Orleans Invasion, MULE, Taverna, Rings Up. So a lot of different fun games that I'm going to be doing. Is Melody going to be doing a top 100 this year? I don't know. I'll have to talk to her. I don't know that she wants to, maybe, or has time to. We'll see. I'm not going to push her on that. What was the best thing you ate in Germany during your stay in Essen? I forget the name of it, but I really did enjoy it. Let me get my phone. I sent out a picture of it, and someone told me what it was in the comments. I should have my phone on me anyway, huh? All right, let's see here. Yes, I'm going to answer that in a second here. Let me see. Blah, blah, blah. Back to Essen. Lots of pictures from the GTS show that I took. So, anyhow, I had a lot of good food in Germany, and I really liked the sausage. There was a sausage sandwich that I felt like getting one like every 2 days. Here it is. Knodel, Knoedel. Basically, it looks like this. I don't know how well that's coming across on the screen here. Let me look. That is amazing stuff. I love that. Okay, so that's that question. Okay, I often talk about games entering and leaving my collection. What happens to those games? We burn them for warmth. As I say many, many times, we get rid of them all at the Dice Hour Con. So come to that. Hey, sign up for Dice Hour Con is in less than 2 weeks. So keep that in mind. Have I reconsidered painting my miniatures after Sam's videos? No. So this is a good question. It says, why no review on Time Stories? I thought since it's a big to-do game, that would at least have a Miami dice. Well, if you recall correctly, at Essen, about 600 games came out. It is impossible. It is impossible for us to review all of them. There's just too many that come out. So we review them based on playability, popularity. Time Stories was reviewed by everyone else. It was sent to reviewers the week of Essen, so everyone else had a chance to play that one. We are playing through it, and I would not be surprised if you see a review either this week or next week of it. But there's just not enough time to play all the games. There's no crying or anything here needed. They put a frowny face. Where's the review? The review will come. It's just that we only have so much time, and there's so many games to review. I mean, literally, I'm playing games like nonstop at this point in time. Has Pandemic Legacy wrecked playing normal legacy Pandemic? For me, I could still play Pandemic, but I don't. Man, Pandemic Legacy was so much better. After a couple of years, Caverna or Le Havre? Well, Caverna, but that's really close. I really like Le Havre. If you look at my top 100 list, they're really close to each other. They both give two different things. Will I be reviewing Gold West? I don't believe so. I think Z Garcia reviewed that one. If I thought about doing a Patreon, you could have a drawing for Patreon members to do a giveaway every month with your ton of games. This way you could gain money and get rid of board games. Well, as I said, I don't wish to do Patreon because I don't want to ask for money all the time. I don't want you to turn in every podcast as the, hey, by the way, we have a Patreon. Hey, by the way, we have a Patreon. I don't want to do that. I want to talk about it once a year during the Kickstarter. But also, sending games out to people is a pain in the neck. You have to package the game up, you have to put it together, you have to send it out. It's really expensive to ship games out. It's just not something that we have time or the ability to do. I'm sending out a big box of games for one of the winners of the Jack Vasel Memorial Fund auction, and that's a pain, but that's worth it, for that. I wouldn't want to do that every month. How come Board Game Breakfast got deleted earlier? Well, there was an error in it, so I fixed it and re-uploaded it. It's back up now, so you can watch it. No Pandemic Legacy spoilers. Well, I don't think I spoiled it. I just said I didn't want to play Pandemic after playing Pandemic Legacy. Did I spoil anything? I don't think I did. What expansion successfully increased the player count? Well, that's a good question. There are not many, honestly. The very first one that kind of threw us for a loop way back in the day was the Settlers of Catan expansions. It's like, oh, wow, 5 to 6 player expansions. Yeah, works really well with 2 to 4. Which ones add more players and I like it? Well, I know the Shadows of a Camelot expansion, which the expansion itself is good. But I did like that it added another player. That was fun. Where you could even have 2 traders, which is very entertaining. Man, most of the time adding more players is not a something that's exciting. Man, you caught me off guard with that one. I don't know. Let's see. Champions of Midgard was not in your top 100 games of 2015. Where do you rank it? And do you favor Lords of Waterdeep instead? I don't know, actually, which one of those I'd rather play. I like them both very similarly. I don't rank the games until I actually do a top 100. It's not like I keep a constant shuffle and flow. Some of you are not watching from the beginning of the video. You're asking questions that have already been asked. Let's see here. If you knew nothing about a game but the designer of that game, what designer would make you the most interested in that game? Oh, Eric Lang, probably, at this point. Will we be reviewing the Warhammer Quest card game? Possibly. Have you played Celestia? I have. Thoughts? I like it. I'll be reviewing eventually. Did Port Royal replace Ink and Gold for you? Well, that's interesting. Kind of, but the thing about Ink and Gold is it fits a lot of players. Port Royal doesn't play 8 players. Ink and Gold can, or at least play 7 players. So that's where Ink and Gold will beat out Port Royal. I really want to see the expansion for Port Royal. Do you ever back Kickstarter games? Sometimes, but very, very, very rarely. I don't need more games. I do back Kickstarter stuff. I just got some hot sauce from Kickstarter. That was cool. The way I back stuff on Kickstarter is I back it and then completely forget about it. Well, except some of these guys can't let you forget about it because they send out 8,000 updates. But I just don't think about them. And when they show up, like when the hot sauce showed up, I was like, oh man, another game. And I opened it, I was like, ooh, hot sauce. I get too many games when I'm excited more that I got hot sauce over a board game. Let's see here. Are you doing a Fury of Dracula 3rd edition? I know a lot of people are asking for that. We just got it. All right, so we will be playing it and reviewing it, but we really just got it, and it's a lengthy game, so we'll worry about it. Has Sam ever actually hit Z in the face in Board Game Blender? Huh. That's for Sam and Z to tell you, not me. You can guess all you want there. If I had to choose which convention would you recommend to go to, Essen or Gen Con? That's a very easy answer. Do you live in America? Gen Con. Do you live in Europe? Essen. Do you live somewhere else like Asia? Then pick whichever one is cheaper to go to. They're both great conventions, but you might as well go to the one that's easier to go to. How often does the Dice Tower upgrade its tech, like cameras and mics, etc.? We do it once a year, usually. I mean, occasionally we'll upgrade something, but like I really have some ideas for 2016, so we will upgrade all that stuff usually in February after the Kickstarter is over. Definitely want to get some new audio equipment. I've been searching and looking for audio equipment. Definitely want to get at least one new camera, possibly more. We're pretty good on the computer front. With the editing and stuff, and there's other things too, and we'll talk about those in the Kickstarter, what we're looking for. Have I played Inhabit the Earth yet? I have. That review will go up next week, likely. Oh, the Cosmic Encounter expansions that add more players. Yes, Cosmic Encounter, you can add more players. In fact, you want to add a 6-player at least, because 6 is the best way to play it. If you were in the general area, is it possible to play with us? It is always possible to play with us, but it just has to work out that way. We game almost every Tuesday, and we game one Saturday a month here, and if you happen to be in the area, we would certainly be glad to game with you. For Pitch Car, should you just get one set? You can. This is what I'd recommend with Pitch Car. If you're on the fence about it, just get one set. If you've already played it and you really like it, then buy 2 if possible, because you can make some really nice sets with 2. What do you think of the new artwork for Colosseum? I don't know. See, my natural inclination when I first saw it was like, I don't know. I don't dislike the artwork. I thought the artwork was fine, actually. It just doesn't seem like it matches Colosseum. But the problem is that I have this ingrained, this is what Colosseum is. So am I letting that cloud my judgment on the new artwork? It's possible. I'm not so worried about the artwork on the box as I am about what's the artwork in the game going to look like, what are the components, because the components in the Days of Wonder one are amazing. Some of the best components of any game. So will this one be able to beat that out? Well, hopefully. What is the longest game you've ever played? Probably some of the games of Twilight. Imperium, I played a long game of Civilizations. Those are probably it. Do any of my gaming buddies have gaming or nerd tattoos? I don't think so. We're not a very, like me, Sam, and Z are not very tattoo-ishy. I've often thought about getting a tattoo, maybe, like up a Dice Tower or something, but I don't know. Tattoo's so permanent. So it's hard, when you get something like that, it's a permanent thing. You said you don't buy games much anymore, but do you get them still for birthday or Christmas? I do not. I do not want board games for my birthday or for Christmas. Please do not. If I was going to get anything gaming related, I would like things that upgrade components or something really cool or neat, but food is often what I ask for. Is Mombasa on your review list? It is-ish. I don't have it, but R&R Games said that they would send it to us. Will there be a live play of some Star Wars games when the movie comes out? Well, actually, there's going to be a live play of a Star Wars game this coming Friday. Rob and Sam they're doing the Battling Brushes where they're painting it up. They're going to play that. We'll stream it live right here in the channel of Imperial Assault, so hopefully you guys enjoy that. Is there anything else besides board games that you're as passionate about that you would ever create another channel for? I don't have the time to, so no. But if I didn't do this, I think cool foods would be something fun to do a channel about. Do you have hats to use with specific games? Well, I might wear a fedora and like nothing personal or something, but for the most part, not really. Whew. You guys really do send a lot of questions out very quickly. What should a gaming group start playing different games instead of all together? My group's currently at 8, and a lot of games with 8 and up have a similar mechanics. I'm not sure what you mean there, but if I have 8 people, we're playing 2 games of 4. Come on. Or a game of 5 and a game of 3. There's some good 8-player games, but there's not many. And if everyone, we must play together. I just don't subscribe to that. Sometimes that's okay, but you're missing out on so many great games here that you can't play if you're always sticking together in a group of 8. Would I consider a board game subscription box if it came with board game accessories, dice, inserts, and promos? The promos wouldn't really attract me as much because what if you don't have the game, right? Promos are only worth it if you have the game for it. The dice and other things, that's cool, but I just don't think there's enough there to subscribe on a monthly basis. I'm going to be proven wrong about this. I mean, if there's a subscription service that people are going, wow, this is amazing, sure, I'll sign up for it. I just don't know that that's going to happen. When will Onitama be released? City of Gears and Royals. We will announce them as they're being released, and in fact, if you notice, we're not announcing ones past that just because of the release dates. Onitama will probably come out in January or February of 2016. If I had to move to a different U.S. city, where would you like to go? If I had to move, I'd move to Orlando. My kids would love that. Are you into PNP games, print and play games? If a friend of yours builds print and play games, would you play them? Well, the answer to that is no and oh no. I don't really want to play print and play games because honestly, as I feel like is my mantra, I keep saying this here, there are so many published games. I mean, thousands come out a year now. Thousands of published games come out every year. Why would I go out of my way to print and play something? Printing stuff, maybe some people have good luck with printing. Printing is a pain. Cutting is a pain. Pasting is a pain. I would never want to go to all that effort just for a game that then didn't look as good as an actual published game. Well, maybe some published games, but for most of them. So, no. And if my friend did it, I'd be like, that's neat. That's cool. But I have these published games. I'd rather play them. Have you ever heard of Peppers of Key West? Best hot sauce I've ever tasted. I have heard it. I have tasted it. I don't know if it's the best, but it's very good. Someone gave me a bottle from Origins of this red. It was cherry vanilla habanero hot sauce, and I think that may be my favorite that I've had. But there's some key lime hot sauce that I've gotten down in the Keys that are really good too. How was the reindeer sausage? It was good. I have not eaten all of it yet. I just cut off a piece and tell the kids, let's eat some Rudolph. Then they're like, yeah, we're eating Rudolph. My kids are not as traumatized by that as you might think. And the fairy tales are good. I've only read a couple of them. I need to read some more. If you're wondering, those are things that were given to us at Essen. Are they going to reprint the game Titan from Avalon Hill? I don't know. I know that the last time Titan was reprinted, it was reprinted by Valley Games. Valley Games has imploded under legal and other things, so I doubt you'll see it again. And I don't think you'd see it again anyway because while it has some very staunch people who like the game mechanisms are not really modern, and I don't think it would sell that well. Do you use YouTube Red? Well, I'm doing the free trial of YouTube Red. YouTube Red is the free, no ads advertisements, and I'm really liking it. I like clicking on a YouTube video and there's no ads at all, which is ironic since there's ads on the Dice Tower videos, but it is what it is. I like it. Do you avoid playing sides in a game where you don't agree with the morals on that side? And this person says like Germany and Axis and Allies or some, aside maybe one of the coin games. No, unless it's really obvious. Let's say, for example, there's a game about murdering children. I don't know that I could do that because the theme is too close. When I play in a game like Axis and Allies, where I play the German sides, it's an abstracted war game to some degree, and we're fighting things, and the Holocaust is not occurring in that game. And I can pretend to be the bad guy with the best of them. In fact, I like playing the bad guys. It's fun, but I never take that seriously. Let's see here. That's right, I'm not supposed to say that. I'm trying not to say that. People said I say it too very often in these. Top 5 condiments. Okay, let's see here. Number 1 for condiments. Well, that's a tough one. A good mesquite or hickory barbecue sauce, especially if it has some hot flavoring in it. That's probably number 1. Pineapple habanero is pretty close. That's a very close second one. Although the pineapple habanero only has some uses, that has more limited uses, but on pork, it's number 1 by a mile. Number 3, I really like Dijon mustard. Really good quality Dijon mustard. 4, ranch. It's hard to beat just straight ranch, although I do like the flavor ranch. And then number 5 would be sriracha. All right. Is that custom shelving? This is not custom shelving. This is from IKEA. This is very similar. This is Expedit, and they made a new one called Calyx, and Calyx is great. And these are amazing. You should get them. Whereas here, it's Miami. You know how I know it's Miami? Because it's nice and warm and crispy outside, and it's November. Have you had a chance to play Rum and Bones with more than 2 players? I have not, but I saw Sam play it with more than 2 players. It did not look fun. Essentially, you're playing half a game. I'm never really keen on these games that are really 2-player games, and you can play them with more, but you got to split what you're doing. That's not as much fun for me. I saw you at the Rock, but you seem very busy during a game. You can always come and talk to us in the middle of a game. That is not a problem. Please don't let that ever take me off. I would be glad to talk to people during a game. Don't ever feel, if you're at one of my gaming things, that you can't come talk to me. Please, I'd like to say hello to you for sure. Best number of players for Thunderbirds? I would think that it would be the entire complement of players. With fewer players, you can still do things, but I don't know, with the full complement, although you won't get to do as much. What was the highlight for you at Essen this year? Oh, that was meeting Barry Dublé, I think. The highlight at Essen was our live show. I was really happy with it. It went really well, and it was fun. Where was the new Days of Wonder game that was supposed to be released at Essen? That game is Quadropolis, which was City Mania, but I think the name is now Quadropolis again. That will be coming out early quarter 1, or late quarter 1, of 2016. Let's see. When you go to the movies, what are you most likely to get from munchies and drink? I'm not a huge popcorn fan. And I also don't like getting up in the middle of a movie and have to go to the bathroom. So I don't usually do anything. If I'm going to take anything, I'm going to take snow caps or nonpareils, as they're called. I like those. I wish movies had more options than just popcorn. Popcorn's fine. If they had fries, oh man, I'd get a bucket of fries. What was your favorite Essen release? That is a question for 4 or 5 months from now. Let's see. Wow, really far behind in questions again. Is there news on the cruise? The cruise news. Here's the news cruise. The cruise is being finalized at this point in time. We are going to announce it and put it up once we have all the details. Right now, it looks like it'll be the first week of December 2016 on Royal Caribbean. I will know more once the contract has been signed and everything. But that's the date and area to keep free. So if you want to come, we will probably announce it the first week of December is my goal. I hope to announce it earlier than that, but we need to wait and do some things before that. Let's see. I love nothing personal. If you were going to work on another game, what theme would you be interested in exploring? Spies would be what I would like to do. Speaking of nothing personal, it's going to be available from Cool Stuff soon, so look out for that. Do you know if Orleans Invasion works with the Deluxe Orleans from Tasty Minstrel Games? It does, and that's what we played it with, and it worked fine. Any thoughts on Upper Deck's announcement that the next Marvel Legendary Small Box expansion will be focused on Captain America? Woohoo! Love Captain America. I'm going to be really rooting for him to beat the snot out of Iron Man in an upcoming Civil War movie. What's your favorite Abyss cover? I like the one that looks like Thanos, maybe? And does Jason have them all? He does not. He did not want to do that. After attending both, do you think Essen was much more buzzworthy than Gen Con this year? This year, yes. Last year it was Gen Con, but this year definitely Essen. Would you have hat reviews? Well, I don't know what I'd be like, well, folks, this hat feels nice and comfortable, and I like the way it looks. Done. Where would Super Motherload rank in your top 10 deck builders? I really like it, and it's still my collection. I'm not sure that it would rank in my top 10, though. I don't know. Speaking of food, do you ever get fan gifts? Well, we got a lot at Denmark. We got a lot at Essen. We got a lot of cookies and chocolate and reindeer sausage and fairy tale books and things like that. That was very nice. We don't ever expect that sort of thing, but it was very cool to get. Huh. I want to go block a user here, and you can put users in timeout now. That's interesting. Okay. Favorite dexterity game? Oh, that's right now. I mean, it could be Pitch Car. Pitch Car is really fun, but I'm really liking Flick 'em Up. If some new publisher made a game, would you give it a shot? Sure. In Kickstarter, I mean, he says. Oh, well then no. We review games after Kickstarter. We are already swamped as it is. I mean, literally, I feel overwhelmed all the time right now with the number of games that we have to review. You should see my garage. I had one shelf in my garage for games that were on their way out. And then we got so many games that didn't fit in my closet anymore, so I went and bought 2 more shelves to put games that were coming in. There are now 5 shelves down there. 3 shelves of games coming in, 2 shelves of games going out. I said that when the shelves of games going out get full, we're going to box them up. If the 3 shelves for games coming in get full, and they're like 2.5 shelves full, but if I can't catch up on it at all, then we need to do something, because that's just too many games that come in at this point. If you are a publisher and have given me a game, we will get to that game at some point. I just can't tell you when. This person asks, Luke says, why do you not include MSRP information in game reviews? Because it changes so dramatically. Also because we think you should go buy the games at Cool Stuff. But it's not worth it. The game will be cheaper later on, or it'll be expensive now, and it muddies the thing. There's no reason to mention it. You can just go look for the price yourself. What do you think of Tricarion Legends of Illusion? I will have my review of that hopefully up next week. There was a flurry of app games like XCOM and Alchemists. Well, I don't know if 2 games constitutes a flurry. And now nothing. I wouldn't say there's nothing. I mean, they just announced the app for Dead of Winter, which seems really cool. There's the ship game from Yellow. There's another game from SN that I just played called Roar or something. I forget the name of it. What is it called? Roar, which used the iPad or iPhone or whatever. So, there's that. Do I play WoW? I do not. Do I have any of my sneaky cards left from GameRite? I do. And when I reviewed the game, there was only like 1 that was being tracked. Now there's like 5 being tracked. I'm very excited about that. How many of these cards can I get tracked? Who from the Dice Tower will be at BGG-Con? Well, there will be me, Sam, and Z, and Eric. And There will also be Chaz Marlar and Suzanne, both of them from Board Game Breakfast. Mark Streed from Board Game Blender, and one of our reviewers will be there. I'm probably missing a couple people who are there and whose names... Oh, Jason will be there. And then a few others there, and I'm going blank on who's going to be there. I have a list somewhere. What's the first board game you ever remember playing? Probably Uno, I think. Do I think Dice Masters is burning out? I don't think it's burning out, but I think it's not the humongous hit that it once was. It's certainly leveling out. With their new decision to not sell through online stores, they can sell through online stores, but each store can only get a certain number of copies. And so, like, if you have your local store can get the same number that Cool Stuff or Miniature Market or any of these stores can get, I think you'll see it kind of fade a little bit. But from what I understand, from what WizKids told me, it's going strong enough that they will continue to support it for a while. What was the budget for the first Dice Tower Network production? Nothing. I don't believe we spent anything. For the first Dice Tower thing, it was me and Joe Stedman, and we went and recorded at our church. They let us use the equipment. We just recorded in the back. I don't believe I paid anything. I don't even know if I owned a domain at that point. You're right, because it wasn't even called the Dice Tower. I just had the show. And I asked Rick if he would post it, Rick Thornquist, if he'd posted on Board Game News at the time. And he did so. And so zero was the budget. What's our budget now? I don't know. I know what my budget for the year is, but I don't know what the budget per show is. Every show is going to be different. As again, if you're watching now, you will notice that I'm going to be skipping a lot of questions just so I can get to the ones that I would like to talk about. There's someone has here, is there less top 10s? I don't think so. I think we did more top 10s this year than we've ever done any year before. Like, there's no top 10 this week because we are doing the Christmas lists and because we're also posting the live playthrough on Friday and such. We also are going to be posting our live playthroughs of Time Stories, which we're recording at some point. Those will be spoiler-ridden, though, so don't watch them if you don't want to know about the game. And we're going to be doing some more live playthroughs that we record and things. But, I mean, you'll still see top 10s coming. What is your top amazing ugly game? Wow. Ugly games. So, like, on my shelf right now, what game is ugly, but I love it? I like the way a lot of my games look. I'm sure there's something up there I consider to be ugly. Defenders of the Realm isn't that great looking, really. Let's see. Wow. Lots of different things. What sort of advertising do you do to let people know about your channel? Well, we advertise in the Gen Con book each year. And other than that, we just keep pumping out content. And we assume that as time goes by, people will point us soon. I don't actually pay for advertising. There was a moment this year, I think it was earlier this year, I was like, woo. And I went to Fiverr and I paid like $5 times 10 and just advertised on various different podcasts just to see if that would bring anyone in. I don't know if anyone actually came in from any of that. I just thought that'd be an interesting thing to do. Are you ever going to give us a walkthrough of your closet, like through my tie collection and hat collection? Maybe. I don't know. My wife and I have debated having many children. What is one of the biggest hurdles and greatest moments you have? Well, with many children, obviously the biggest hurdle is going to be, do you give them all attention? Does one get lost in the crowd? And then, of course, there's cost. Cost is not, and space and things. I have to live in a much larger house than I would probably live in normally. and I spend a good chunk of my money on my kids. But we've with the kids, each week we take one kid out to eat. My wife and I used to do a date once a week. We do that occasionally now, but now we bring one kid with us, and they really like that. That's their time. It's them who get to go. For the greatest moments, oh man, there's so many of those. So many great moments. I can't even, some of them I can't even share with you. Just, I don't regret it ever. Never. It's a wonderful thing. All right. Man, I've had to block a lot of users this time. Hee hee hee. Do you prefer creamy or chunky peanut butter? Probably creamy. Wow, there's a lot of... Okay. Favorite steakhouse when money is no object? Not even a question. St. Elmo's in Indianapolis, Indiana. That steakhouse is... wow. Really, really good. Will we have other contributors to any future live plays? Well, as you will see on Friday, you will see Rob from our painting group doing a live play. We will get Eric into one of these at some point. We'll have some other people as time goes by. What mass market game do you wish you could direct people away from to other, more better games? I don't know that I would ever chase people away from a game if they enjoy it. I think that that's a fantastic thing that they're having a good time doing that. Have you thought about putting some of your hats in the Jack Vasel auction? No, I don't think anyone would want one of my hats. Do you think asking for troubles will make it into your top 10 worker placement games? Probably not. Remember, there's a lot of games out there, and just because something doesn't make my top 10 doesn't mean it's not an amazing game. My kids really did enjoy it, and I liked it too. Is Dice Tower doing any charity events? I believe that's what the Jack Vasel Memorial Fund auction is right now, so that's what we're doing. What do you think about Food Chain Magnate? I have not played it yet. I have it. I will play it. I just haven't played it yet. Oh, Ascension. That's good. Thanks, Josh. Ascension is the ugliest game I have. Oh, by far. Although the more recent versions look a lot nicer. Can I move my top shelves over a couple inches so the corners line up? Oh, definitely not. I like having them off center a little bit like that. It spreads the weight a little bit. I don't want them to be just the one big shelf. Also, my wall, I couldn't push the bottom ones all the way over, but the top ones I can push all the way over. Those are two reasons. Third, it seems to bother OCD people, so I leave that up too. That's a much smaller third reason. Ooh, I think I'm staying abreast with the questions today. That's because I'm skipping a lot of them. Have you played Steampunk Rally yet? Not yet. Have you heard of the Watch the Skies mega game, and would you consider taking part in one? Yeah, I've heard of them, and I would consider it. It's just that that's a long period of time, and it's a whole day's worth to go away and do something. I'm already going away and doing board games a lot. I don't know how often I would want to go away and do something else. Seems like a lot of fun. It's a time thing for me mostly. Have I ever done an interview on national TV to promote or talk about board games? I have not. Boy, I've had to block a lot of people today. Sorry about that. Must be the time. When is the 504 review coming? It is coming when I feel confident that we have played enough games of it to do it. Do you ever invite people from abroad visiting far into your home for playing board games? That happens occasionally. It all depends on timing. Sometimes I have people come to my house. Sometimes I meet them at a game store, usually at the game store, but it all depends. When Z, Sam, and you aren't doing reviews or playing games, what other things do you do? Well, we have lives. We eat food. We spend time with our families. We watch movies, like things everyone else does. Ooh, let's see. Would you ever go on an episode of Tabletop? People ask that all the time. Okay. Any news about the Ninja Turtles Dice Master set? I know it's coming. I know it's a complete set where it's like a complete game. You don't have to buy boosters for it. And it's compatible with the other ones. That's all I know about that. Why is it so many games are made for a max of 5 people? Being married with a lot of couple friends, it's hard to find good games for 6. Well, there is a lot of good games for 6. I think we did a top 10 6-player games. Most games max out at 5 because with 6 it just takes too long. Some games take too long with 5 players. So, when you met Will Wheaton, did he know about you? He did not, other than what Rich Sommer had told him. Rich Sommer said that I was a board game reviewer and so on. He didn't know anything else other than that. Let's see. Have you done True Dungeon at Gen Con? I have. I've done it twice. Is it worth the money? I don't think so. I really liked it. It was really fun. But I found that the experience was best with a group of friends who were my friends, and that's 10 people. 10 times 50 is $500 for 2 hours. Yes, we can split that up in different ways, but in other words, I've had just as good of an experience playing Time Stories, which is a thing, and so far I've played that with 2 people, and I played that will probably end up being 4 hours. So that's 3 of us playing a game for 4 hours for, what is Time Stories, $60 or whatever. That's a much better deal than $500 for, even divided by 10 people, that's still $50 a person for 2 hours. That's a lot of money. I see Splendor is still in its original box on your shelf, says Wes. The components take up so little of the box. Have you ever considered placing it in something smaller to allow room for another game? I really hate taking games out of their original boxes. I just do not like it at all. Have you played Epic? I have not, but Sam has, and I believe his review will be going up this week. Are you going to review Raiders of the North Sea? Possibly. Tom, I have a ton of game pieces and I need something to store them in. Where can I find your type of drawer cabinets? The little white drawer cabinets that I have, I got them at the Container Store. The Container Store is amazing. If you're a board gamer, you go in a Container Store and you're like, whoo, that's pretty cool. So, do you have a favorite cartoon? Well, as a kid, my favorite cartoon easily was G.I. Joe and Transformers. Probably a tie between those two. Nowadays, I don't know. That'd be a good top 10 list, though. Maybe we'll do that sometime. Have you ever thought about designing a game with Eric Lang? I don't want to design games right now. It's not that I don't have co-designers who will want to do it with me. It's just I don't want to put the effort into that. I'd rather just play the games that I'm playing now. Did the second edition of Mission Red Planet move it up on your list? Possibly. I really do like it a lot. I liked it before that. What are your thoughts on complaints that Pandemic Legacy is too expensive for a finite playthrough game? I honestly do not understand those complaints. I can understand it if you look at Pandemic Legacy or Time Stories and you say the amount of money to play that is not worth the time I'll get back from it. If that is your conclusion, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. That's what I just said about True Dungeon. I said it was a fun thing, but the amount of money I paid for that time frame was not worth it for me. For me, the amount of money you put into Pandemic Legacy for the amount that you get back is amazing. Time Stories, same thing. But some people do not feel that way. I do not feel that every game has to have infinite number of plays. Now, I do look at replayability as something in games, and a game that has infinite replayability is something I'm very excited about and will promote. But these games specifically are not saying they have this infinite replayability, and therefore they have the story and theme need to be very strong. So I don't have a problem with it. And I'm kind of odd. People do have a problem with it, and I understand that. But say I'm not very interested in this and then let it go. I feel like some of these people are kind of like, well, you shouldn't play it either. Well, okay, that's fine. I get that it's finite for you, but for us, we're having a great time. Then obviously I'm going to highly disagree with the Shut Up and Sit Down guys and their review of Time Stories. That yeah, it's a once through story and it does have the same ending for everybody, but the experience is so amazing. I have never played a game where I've just been that into the game. It's just, wow, it's so much fun that I don't care about that other stuff. So, um, they have their opinion and we have ours. Which Dominion expansion should someone buy first? Probably Seaside, if you can. um, any plans to ever come to Chicago? I have no plans to ever go to any city. If it happens, it happens. Only if through going to conventions and such. I love to go to Chicago Toy and Game Fair, but it's the same week as Board Game Geek Con. Top 10 fruits and vegetables? I already did my fruits. So we'll just do vegetables now. Number 1, by a mile. So far above everything else is the potato. How can you can't go wrong with the potato. Number 2 is the portobello mushroom. That's just an amazing mushroom. Then 3, probably yellow and orange, red. Peppers, they're good. They're versatile. You can use them in a lot of things. 4 would be the red onion. The onions are just delicious and can be used in a lot of things. 5 is the lowly carrot, but the carrot can be caramelized. That's a good way to eat carrots. What do we add? 6 green beans, especially if they're fresh. I'm just making these numbers up now because I might rearrange them. 7 asparagus, but only if it's fresh. Actually, move all those down. Above carrot, I would put cauliflower. Good, solid cauliflower. And right below cauliflower, I put broccoli. I think I just made 10. If I miss one, life goes on. These doing top 10s on the fly, you have to rearrange them in your head instead of doing them on paper and such. Any thematic games for Thanksgiving? I don't know that there's many thematic games for Thanksgiving. I have one about being a turkey that's from... Oh, I don't have it now, but I had one. I forget the name of it. It was this really crazy game from China where you wanted to be the turkey who did not get eaten. Puzzle rooms. I've been asked to do puzzle rooms many times, and I just haven't done one yet. Most of the time, I'm asked to do them when I'm at a convention, and I'd rather be at the convention and do the puzzle room. I might do them. It sounds like an interesting idea. I don't know why. They just haven't. I love puzzles. I don't know. You know what I would want to do a puzzle room? I think you could talk me into doing a puzzle room if I did it with, like, Sam and Z and some other people who've never done a puzzle room before. I think that'd be fun. But I definitely don't want to go with someone who goes, okay, now listen, I have a lot of experience with these things. I don't want to hear that. I just want to go in and see what happens. Do you have any wishes for future scenarios and time stories? I just wish that all the scenarios and time stories are completely different. The next one is, the first one that's already out is a murder mystery in the 90s. Then I know there's one after that, which is a fantasy setting, and this is great. Just jump all around. I don't want them to be all the different settings, have different ones. I like to see how they all work. Updates about the Sheriff of Nottingham expansions. We're going to put that on hold a little bit. We're still working on those. We're not going to announce exactly what's in it until it's coming out. Did I catch the premiere of Supergirl? I did not. I was busy this week a lot doing reviews. I think my daughters watched Supergirl. I did not even ask them if they like it. They've been really on a big Flash kick lately. In fact, they burned through all the Flash episodes. Now they're watching Arrow. But I know they love Flash. So I'm assuming they like Supergirl. Do you have a favorite book? There's a lot of books I like. I really like books. If you're talking about fiction, which is my favorite thing, I would have to sit and think a long time before doing my top 10 books. There's just a lot that come to mind. There's some books from my childhood that I really liked. I still think Rifles for Wadey and The Mouse and His Child are just amazing books. As a kid, I really enjoyed them, and even now, I find them fascinating books. I loved the Timothy Zahn trilogy for Star Wars. I enjoy the Honor Harrington series a lot. There's a lot of good books that I've read. The Foundation trilogy is really good. There's a lot of great books. But I don't know if I have any specific favorite book at this point in time. What's your most anticipated game right now? I actually don't have one. Just the next game I'm going to play. I go downstairs and look at all the games on the shelves and go, that looks interesting, that looks interesting, let's try that, let's try that. This past Saturday I had a great time. I played 10 games in a row with my kids. I played some with the young kids, played some with the older kids, just had a really fun time playing games. Do you have any plans for an all-day game session? Hey, I just said that. That's what I just did with my kids, though. Do you think Time Stories will work with 2 people? Yeah, I think so. What are your opinion on kilts? Well, I'll tell you this. I don't care if someone wears a kilt or not. I would not wear one because I would not know how to sit properly in one. And I think they'd be too breezy for me. If someone wants to wear a kilt, that's perfectly fine. I think kilts, just like hats, everyone has their own style. What I do think is interesting about kilts is I only ever see them worn at gaming conventions. And these guys come up and are like, yeah, I got my utility kilt on and this kilt. Okay, that's interesting. But I never see someone like at the grocery store in one. Or I never see someone somewhere else in one of these. Maybe I'm just not in the right place at the right time. I just wonder, do people just wear them at conventions? Is it to impress other geeks? Would you wear it to Scotland? I don't know. I just wouldn't wear one myself. But hey, most people wouldn't wear these kind of hats. So I can't say anything against it. We'll be doing another gaming marathon. We will announce that. Have you heard anything about the new Level 7 Omega Protocol expansion? I did not even know there was one coming out. That would be exciting. I did not know much about it. Would you hire someone who does 30-plus minutes in-depth reviews? No. Do you think the Dice Tower needs someone like that? No. Shorter is better, shorter is better, shorter is better, shorter is better. In fact, I want to make even shorter reviews than we have now. People do not want to sit and watch 30-minute reviews. Now, I know, as soon as I say that, people are like, I would. Very small percentage of people. Very small percentage. One of the reasons the Dice Tower is as popular as it is because we don't go on and on and on about games. Sure, there's a group of people who will like longer reviews, and there are podcasts that go 4 hours, Secret Cabal, D6 Generation, and they talk about games for a really long time, spiel. They're out there, and there are people who listen to them. But the greater audience, it needs to be short. I do what I would want. I love the Secret Cabal podcast, and I listen to it. But as soon as they start talking about a game that they're reviewing, I fast forward through it because they talk about it for an hour and a half. I don't want to listen to about one game that long. That's crazy. For me, that's me personally. I want to listen to them short, so that's what I want, short, short, short. So no, I would not hire someone who did 30-minute overviews. I am looking to hire someone eventually, though. How come no one talks about Nightfall anymore? Because AEG no longer supports it. So that's probably why. What games are prime candidates for your top 10 games of 2015? Well, that I'm not even talking about anymore because we are a month away from us posting such lists. So you're just going to have to wait till then. Well, let's see. Will we ever see reviews from Melody? I believe Melody just helped me do a review. We reviewed The Pursuit of Happiness last week. So you will probably see more reviews from Melody at some point. Will I do my top 10 Christian games? I think at some point. I'm not sure there's enough to make a good top 10 list yet. Give me another year or so on that one. How often do you get sick of playing games? Every once in a while I don't feel like playing games. So then you know what I do? I don't. I go and read a book or, I'm excited. Today is the day they add new comics to Marvel Unlimited, which is the way I read comics these days. So Mondays is when the new comics come out, and I look forward to that. What's my wife's favorite game? Still probably Ticket to Ride, I would think. Will Z Garcia or Sam Healy ever do a live Q&A? I don't know what. They've never done. They have done them before. Will they do them again? Yeah, it just happens to be that Mondays is the best day for me to do it on. And we're usually, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're cranking. Friday, we're calming down a little bit, but there's a lot to get done each week. Like even today, my goal is to review 10 games today. So doing this Q&A is going to take some time out of getting that done. I've done only 2 reviews so far today, and I feel kind of behind on that. But I will get some more finished at that point in time. Now that you and the group have played through Pandemic Legacy, do you consider it to be replayable? I do not consider it to be replayable. It is a once-and-done affair. I think you could force it to be replayable, but it would not be for me. Vicious Fishes remake. I do not wish to make a remake of Vicious Fishes because I don't think it's that good of a game. I think it's a decent game, but it's not great, so I wouldn't push for it to be reprinted. I have not. Besides, you can still get it, I think, through the publisher that prints it on demand, whose name is escaping me. And pencil cases. Wow. You think I would remember that? Well, I'm going to look it up because I should actually know this information. Vicious Fishes, if you don't know what they're talking about, is a game I designed, a tile-laying game. It is, you're putting fish down and trying to do it. The idea was very strong in my head about putting tiles down and having them attack the tiles next to them. But I don't know, it just never came through. And it's Nestor Games, Nestor, Nestor Games. Let's see. Do you know of any sites that run great sales during the holiday season? They all run different sales. You just have to keep track. Don't worry. Just subscribe to Board Game Geek. There's always people who will tell you about the different deals that are out there. What's a good price for a painted set of minis for Descent or Imperial Assault? I don't know. A set for Descent is very expensive because there's so many different minis in the game. Would you play a new Pandemic Legacy campaign? I would not. I know that Z is actually playing through one right now, but I wouldn't because it'd be like, oh, I can't believe that just happened. We will be posting some more of the live playthroughs. In fact, we'll be finishing our live playthroughs this week. I believe we still have we just have 2 games left, 16 and 17. So I'll be posting those probably tomorrow and Wednesday. So look forward to that. That was fun to do. With Time Stories, we tried a 3-camera setup instead of 2. Still trying to figure out what I need to do is I need to figure out some rig where I can get one of the cameras directly over the table. So once I can figure out how to do that properly, I think that will also help when we play games. Ooh, I just got to try the new timeout thing. These questions are not a place to spam and get to talk about a game that you want to promote or what have you here. Is there any interest in the new Ghostbusters games from Cryptozoic Games? I expect that to actually show up today or tomorrow. So I'm interested in it because I love the Ghostbusters theme. Cryptozoic, I'm always wary, but their last game, the Portal game, was pretty good. So who knows? I'm really excited about the Attack on Titan board game that they've done. But they have some really good designers working on that one too. Camera rig, so Jason doesn't knock them down. Yeah, that's the thing. When you have all these cameras set up in the room, we don't want to knock them all over and everything. So there's that. One of the things that would be fun, and one of the things about these playthroughs is what we need people playing the game, but then we need some people operating the cameras and stuff, and that would be a useful thing to have. And then, so that's something I'm looking for probably next year is someone behind the scenes at the Dice Tower can come in, and they don't necessarily have to be someone who's on camera. They can run cameras behind the scene and help us with video editing and things like that. What gets the ban hammer in my Q&As? Well, anything that's trollish or profanity or just, people coming in just to cause trouble. That's the instant banning. Those are the people I get rid of. Who's the biggest non-gaming celebrity you ever got to meet? Jorge Garcia, I guess. He likes the Dice Tower, so That's how I met him when we played with Jason, and I've emailed him since. I'm trying. He's agreed to be on the Dice Tower, and I'm gonna have him on at some point. We just haven't been able to get a time to work yet. But I guess that's the biggest celebrity. I might have met someone. I mean, I think that meeting Michael Stackpole and Timothy Zahn, I think they're big celebrities in their own right. Oh, I guess Will Wheaton. Yeah, I met Will Wheaton. I wonder if Jorge Garcia is bigger than Will Wheaton, celebrity-wise. I don't know. That's not that big of a deal to me. I would hope that if I meet someone celebrity, of course, I'm going to be a little bit of like, ooh, wow, that's pretty impressive. You know what you do. I'm impressed by what they do, but I would hope that I would be normal. I hope that would be my goal. Well, hey, it's noon. It's time to shut this down. And I kept up with the questions for the most part. I didn't answer everyone's questions, of course, but I kept up with most of them. And I appreciate everyone who did ask questions. But it's lunchtime now, so I need to get cracking on that and get some more of these reviews done. And I believe it's time to go shopping, too. One of the things about having this many kids is we have to make a BJ's run and pick up the food for our multiple freezers and fridges. But again, always worth it. So anyhow, guys, I really appreciate you watching this as normal. Stay tuned this week. We have a lot of good stuff, hopefully, for you. Hopefully, you'll enjoy that. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and you guys have been watching The Dice Tower live.